waiting for my students, but I'm not sure they are not coming today. So what I'm going to do is to record the session so you can actually check it and you can actually see some important information. This time, something important is that we're working with present simple and present perfect. And the plan is that I'm going to give you evaluation about the exams that we're going to have next week. Remember that next time the target that we have now is that you can actually use different and new expressions whenever you write or whenever you speak. And these are the new expressions that we have seen to give opinions, to present arguments, to present counter arguments, or to present a conclusion. We were discussing the other time this topic, that is globalization has taken privacy away from people's life. And the idea is that we can actually present our opinion in order to give arguments to this. It is going to be quite similar to what you're going to be doing in the writing and in the speaking part in the exams. Later on, I will give you some information. Initially, I want that you listen to the following performance that is given by a street performer, and I want that you comment on it. So let me share the screen and you will be able to listen.
Estos son 3 de los problemas dentales más comunes que puedes corregir con los alineadores invisibles Moon. El apiñamiento
Just to hear you breathe, but you started wasting, but you far away, dreaming. I can stay my life in the sweet surrender. Today is small, where a moment spent. You, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, never do I can miss you, babe. And I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to miss one smile. Because I miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing.
Okay, I think that now I have the microphone on. Yes, sorry about that. So here, what we were watching is a presentation of a street performance with a famous artist. So for those of you who actually like rock, probably you get to know who he is and probably his song. So it's interesting. As we did the other time, we were commenting on street performance, what they do, what kind of music they play, and your interest in them or not. Good. The other activity that we were doing the other time is talking about listening. Remember that listening is one of the most important and difficult skills to develop, and that you actually need to do your best to listen to it as many times as you can. There were some questions that we actually used, and we did an activity in which once we do the same listening for 3 different times. And the plan was that we were taking notes, so that we take notes. The plan is that we listen to it as many times as possible, that we stop the listening while we are listening. Let's say we stop the audio while we are listening, just to think about the content, to look up some words in the dictionary, and maybe to use the script whenever it is possible. So in the module number 3 material, there are some listening strategies that you can actually implement, and this is what we were doing the other class. So even we listen to the script. Now the same question is coming when we are going to be reading. So when we are reading, that is another skill that requires a lot of practice. It's important that you read and take notes. It's important that you read the test several times. Be aware that nowadays there are 2 ways of reading. One is by using computers, and the other one is just having the physical text. So these are like 2 different skills. Some people are more adapted to reading in the physical paper, in the physical book or text, but some others have to read a lot using the computer, and it implies some other skills. It's important that when you read, you stop and think. So you stop a little bit to think what you have understood. To look up new words in the dictionary, it's important because from time to time, certain words are repeated, or certain words there are certain words that you actually don't know. So it's important that you look them up in the dictionary and actually work in the exercise, and important that you work on some concentration problems, because when we read, we get tired, we have the tendency to forget what to do, what we are understanding, etc. In the activities for the module number 3, there are some there is an exercise about Stephen Hopkins, and the plan is that you actually do the same activities that we did for the listening, so that you listen, try to understand, get some ideas, read again, concentrate now on the words that are said in the test, and you take ideas, and then that you go read again and look at some words in the dictionary. So the plan is that every time you will understand more and more from this test. As you can see on the screen, there are some words that come in red and some others that come in blue, because they are actually talking about some tenses, time, chronological time in which once the action took place. So you are 100% invited to do this activity as many times as you can. The other information that is important that I give you is that next week we're going to have our first stop and go. And I would like here, and unfortunately my people are not here today, but I will be available via mail if you want it. So we're going to have 4 different evaluations in different moments. So we're going to have a writing moment, a speaking moment, a listening moment, and a reading moment. For the writing part, I want that you do one that is going to be prepared and one that is going to have your natural production. Same as for the speaking moment, something that you will be preparing and something that will be the natural production. And listening and reading will be the 2 evaluations that we will have. So for the writing moment and the speaking moments, that will be 2 moments, one prepared and one natural. Let's say that these are the dates according to the calendar that we are having. One on March the 29th and one on March the 31st. On March the 29th, I want that you prepare a presentation. In some minutes, I give you some information, and we are going to be doing the writing natural production, and that is going to be the class for that day. On March the 21st, we're going to have the speaking natural production. We do the writing outline, and we do the listening and reading test, and that is going to be the class for next week. For the speaking moment, this is what basically it is going to be about. So you are going to be preparing a presentation that lasts approximately 5 minutes. So it's not longer than 5 minutes. So you are going to talk about globalization in a country. So the plan is that you talk about how has globalization affected different aspects of the local culture in a specific world country. So the step number one you have to do is to choose a country different from the ones that other people selected. So the plan is that you select any country, that you look at for information about the local culture of the country, and analyze how globalization has affected it in terms of traditions then and now. Remember that it is important to state your point of view while you are presenting. So it's important that you present your arguments. So it's not only that you give factual information, but it's also that you present your point of view with arguments. The idea is that you use the grammar that you have studied so far, like present continuous, present simple, and present perfect. The plan is that you use some visual aids and some slides, but the plan is that in the slides don't include long sentences, only include words. You can use PowerPoint, you can use Canva, you can use Google Slide, Prezi, Genially, whatever you consider you can actually use for your presentation. The plan is that you use as many connectors as possible, and the plan is that you take care of your pronunciation. So you have to speak not necessarily fast, but the plan is that you speak as normal as you can. And the idea is that you upload the presentation in Virtual Savannah, and you will be ready to answer some questions and the tutor as the presentation goes. So basically, that is the prepare part. So remember, 5 minutes about a country and about how globalization has impacted this country. For the natural production, it will be 5 minutes again. And the plan is that you answer and organize the speech based on a prompt. So the plan is that you will be speaking for 2 minutes, but the plan is that you will have, let's say, some minutes to prepare your production and then to speak. Good. For the writing production, the prepare moment, it's something that you will be doing, and it's preparing an outline. An outline is like the skeleton of a complete essay. So it only has words, sections, and certain words about the topic. So we are going to be preparing an outline based on a topic that I am going to be giving you. The writing moment natural production is that you're going to write a text between 120, 140 words. I'm going to give you a prompt, and you are going to show to what extent do you agree or disagree with that idea. The plan is that you create as a minimum 3, maximum 4 paragraphs, 1 for the introduction, 1 for the body, and 1 for the conclusion. So remember that the agenda that we have is that on the 29th, you have the presentation plus the slides, plus the writing natural production. On the 31st, you will have your speaking natural production, you write your outline, and we do the listening and reading exams. Okay, I think that this is it for today. Let's hope that you can actually watch this video. And in some minutes, I will be writing an email for you so you can actually understand this, and I will be ready to respond to your questions. Module number 8, that is the one with this information, it's gonna be open for you. Okay, thank you so much.